Hello everybody, my name is Eric D. Johnson, also known as BrightShine. I live right here in the city of Memphis. It's in the county sheriff, it's in the state of Tennessee. Today's date is early Sunday morning, November the 5th, 2017. And now the time is 4:30 a.m. As you know, the time here in the United States of America, we have in the spring, the time goes forward. In the fall, the time goes back. So we at that time of the year, here it is, the fall, the time has gone back. So everybody that be watching the video and things, time has gone back. And first I want to thank all my fans, my support, for your continued encouragement and support. And I'll continue to keep myself employed right here in this Memphis tri-state area. And I'll continue to further my education in Monroe College Online and pursuing my associate degree studying business administration, concentration marketing. What I'm going to do right now, I'm going to do my Instagram. Hello everybody, my name is Eric D. Johnson, also known as BrightShine. I live right here in the city of Memphis. It's in the county sheriff, it's in the state of Tennessee. Today's date is early Sunday morning, November the 5th, 2017. Time is 4:32 a.m. Now we know here in the United States of America, in the springtime the time goes forward. In the fall, the time goes back. So today, the time went back. So that, as I said, the time is 4:32 a.m. And first, I thank all my fans, my support, for your continued encouragement and support. And we want to always give thanks to God first for all the blessings and His guidance that He provides us with. And like I said, that's the most important thing is to give thanks to God. So again, thank all my fans, my support, for your continued encouragement, support, and always we give thanks to God for all the blessings and guidance. Now what I'm gonna do right now, do my periscope. Hello everybody, my name is Eric D. Johnson, also known as BrightShine. I live right here in the city of Memphis, in the county of Shelby, in the state of Tennessee. Today's date is early Sunday morning, November the 5th, 2017. Now the time is 4:38 a.m. Now here in the United States of America, in the springtime, the time goes forward. In the fall, the time goes back. So that's where we at. It's being the fall. The time has went back. And excuse me. And what time is it? Now, as you know, African traditional religion is being taught, and African traditional religion is being taught in sub-Saharan Africa, in an institution of higher learning in sub-Saharan Africa. You can earn a bachelor's degree, you can earn a master's degree, you can earn a PhD studying African traditional religion. Now, one of the books we're going to continue to read from, and we're going to refer to its title, West African Traditional Religion, written by Dr. Joseph Omasede and related with Dr. P. Adalumo the Paymu. Another book we're going to continue to read from, and we're going to refer to its title, African Traditional Religion, a definition written by Dr. E. Baloja Adobu. Another book we're going to continue to read from, refer to its title, African Religions and Philosophy, written by Dr. John S. M. Beebe. Another book we're going to continue to read from, refer to its title, Concepts of God in Africa, written by Dr. John S. M. Beebe. Now what we're going to do today, I checked the news agencies, the white nationalists and Antifa and all the rest of the gangs on the East Coast. Didn't really see anything recently reported, and also the celebrity athletes and entertainers, the NFL, controversy situation, the national anthem, as well as all professional sports, and as well as amateur sports. The national anthem controversy. I checked the news agencies, didn't really just see anything new. Pretty much the same, pretty much the same information being reported. But we're gonna continue to get to something very serious. Is that this whole situation with the Germans and the Latins, and this word gang and gang plus stir and mob. Mob is not even a word; it's an abbreviation of mobile, and mob plus stir, and these other words like thug, boss, goon, stone, player, Mac, all this, and it's all tied in with violence and the so-called gang. I'm getting to the point I don't even like using the word gang no more, to refer to this, because we know what the word means. We know what the word means, just like saying that abbreviation mob. How to address it. Everybody's so accustomed the gangs, but to be truthful, that's not even correct, because when you know the definition of the word, it's coercion. The coercionist, because that's all it is force. But it's not gang. But we so accustomed, to using the word gang, we even refer to, the behavior as gangs, and the conduct is gang. But like I say, we're gonna get to it. We're gonna go straight to it. Then we're gonna also get to the Bible, and as always, put God first. We always want to give thanks to God for all His blessings and His guidance. Now I want to also excuse me, we had an incident, a terrorist incident here in the United States of America, and that incident was in the state of New York, the city of New York, and our thoughts and prayers, goes out to the victims, the whole country, because terrorism victimizes all, even though physically, the terrorists didn't hurt me or nobody. Excuse me. Even though the terrorists, didn't hurt me physically, I'm here in Memphis, and the victims in New York are still. I'm an American. I live here in the United States of America. You understand? And we're affected by it. Terror all around the world. All around the world. With especially the reason, the reason behind it. Nobody really It claimed that it was a Muslim. The man that did it was a Muslim. Now they don't really know if he was affiliated with what's the new group, ISIS. And so like I said, we can't say. We don't know the reason behind it. Just like, for instance, the situation that happened here in the United States, in Las Vegas, Nevada. The man did. He was killed. But nobody, he didn't leave no message behind to say this is the reason why I did what I did in Las Vegas, Nevada. We all can speculate. So, and that's pretty much the same situation happening in New York, and as well as other is that situation like that. We really don't know what the reason behind it. But like I say, our thoughts and prayers. We hope God continue to intervene in our affairs, and let's just continue to pray to God that things like this don't happen, that we don't continue to resort to violence. You understand? And other means to resolve our differences. And like I said, we're gonna get straight to it, man. Okay, here we go. Now, as you know, the United States government, as well as other governments around the world, they enact laws to make us all safe. And the United States government passed a law, the Organized Crime Control Act of 1970, and Title IX of the Organized Crime Control Act of 1970, the Racketeer, Influence, and Corrupt Organization Act, the RICO Act, Anti-Gang, the Juvenile Justice, also, hold on. Yeah, there you go. And also the Comprehensive Drug Abuse Prevention and Control Act of 1970, the Controlled Substance Act, the Psychotropic Substances Act, the Continuing Criminal Enterprise Statute, or the Kingpin Statute, is all anti-gang. Now, the Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention Act of 1974 established the Office of Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention, as well as other related legislation. It's anti-gang. The Comprehensive Anti-Gang Initiative, Office of Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention, and Comprehensive Gang Model, Office of Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention. The Bureau of Justice assists the Office of Justice Program in the United States Department of Justice. And you can go to youth.gov, and you can be informed about the Comprehensive Anti-Gang Initiative as well as the Comprehensive Gang Model. Now, the Office of Justice Program, the Bureau of Justice in the United States Department of Justice, Comprehensive Anti-Gang Initiative, and Project Safe Neighborhoods. The United States Department of Justice Office of Community-Oriented Police and Service Comprehensive Anti-Gang Initiative. The Office of Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention, the United States Department of Justice, Office of Justice Program, the Bureau of Justice Assist, International Narcotics and Law Enforcement Affairs, United States Department of State, the Institute for Intergovernmental Affairs, Gang Resistance, Education and Training, the GREAT Program. Now, United States Department of Justice, the Office of Justice Program, the Office of Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention, October 2009, the National Youth Gang Center, which have been funded by the Office of Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention since 1995, merged with the National Gang Center, which have been funded by the Bureau of Justice Assist since 2003. The National Gang Center, compilation of state laws against gangs. Now you can go to the National Gang Center website and you can be informed about the state laws against gangs. Now, gang prevention, the overview research program, Mr. James C. Howe, the Office of Juvenile Justice Delinquency Prevention, United States Department of Justice, Bureau of Justice Assist, Office of Juvenile Justice Delinquency Prevention, National Gang Center Bulletin. Now, the title of that bulletin is History of Street Gangs in the United States. Now, there are books in the bulletin. Read the books in the bulletin. And also, the same information that's in that bulletin can be found on Wikipedia. And the title of that information is Gangs in the United States. Now, the United States Department of Justice, Office of the United States Attorney Manual, 1457, Criminal Street Gang Statute 18, United States Code 521. The United States Department of Justice, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, National Gang Intelligence Center, United States Department of Justice, Organized Crime and Gang Section, and other federal, state, and local agencies. United States Department of Justice, Office of Justice Program, National Institute of Justice, Anti-Gang Strategies, Prevention, Intervention, Assessment, and Suppression. United States Department of Justice, Office of Justice Program, National Institute of Justice, United States Department of Health and Human Services, the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, National Center for Injury Prevention and Control, Changing Course, Preventing Gang Membership, and also striving to reduce youth violence everywhere. United States Department of Justice, United States Department of Education, United States Department of Health and Human Services, United States Department of Housing and Urban Development, the United States Department of Labor, and the White House Office of National Drug Control Policy, National Forum on Youth Violence Prevention. You can go to youth.gov and be informed about the National Forum on Youth Violence Prevention. And also United States Department of Justice, the Bureau of Justice Assistance, National Crime Prevention Council, keeping kids out of gangs. And also anti-hazing. You go to lawyers.com and be informed about anti-hazing. Now, let's get to it. Like I said, we're gonna get to the Bible, but we've been talking about Amazon.com and eBay and other websites where you can order just about anything, any and everything. But you can also order books and things in there. Like I said, I got my books on order. Now, the books I ordered from Amazon.com, they are supposed to come between November the 2nd and November the 20th. So those books haven't, the compact Oxford English Dictionary. That's the two volume, and then also then I ordered the other one, the compact Oxford English Dictionary, the 3rd edition revised. Those two, they haven't arrived yet because they weren't going to be shipped between November the 2nd and November the 20th. Now I also ordered the Merriam-Webster Now, Webster's 3rd New International Dictionary, unabridged, and 7-language dictionary. Now, that dictionary, they sent me one of them. The 3. They come with 3 volumes. And they mailed me one of them. Then they said they're gonna send the other one. But they're gonna send the other one, and then I send an email to them. But the bookstore, you know what I'm saying? They sent the book down. Like I said, so I ended up getting one. And the good thing about the one that they sent me, just so happened, is a volume number 2, H through R, so we can go to the H through the R. Just like we went to the volume number 1 and A through G, and we can look up the word gang. Now, this volume, the Merriam-Webster, Webster's 3rd New International Dictionary, unabridged, It's very important that we look at the date. It's very important because, like I said, we're gonna go to Wikipedia for, and we're gonna talk about the timeline. It's very important because this 2017. You understand? It's 2017, and so they've been making dictionaries for a while. We know the history of what's his name, Mr. Webster. You understand? We know Mr. Webster, and then Merriam-Webster, the Merriam brothers. They bought into Mr. Webster's dictionary. So then it became Merriam-Webster dictionary. So, but we're gonna go on and then the Oxford English Dictionary. You understand? There was a period of time, University of Oxford, they won what they call the Oxford University Press. When they started publishing the very first Oxford English Dictionary. But see, what we want to do, let's refer to a quick reference. Wikipedia. That's okay with everybody. Wikipedia. Critics, the critics. But the reason why we want to do that because a lot of people don't have just basic knowledge. We know just general knowledge, but we want to look at the timeline because it's some people walking around. I'm just gonna be frank. They need their ass killed. I'm just gonna be point blank, straight to the point. It's some people walking around, and it's some people who have been walking around. Their ass need to be killed for lying, for thinking, for us, for having this opinion that you can horseplay. You horseplay with people that's related to you. You understand? And then you horseplay with people that's not related to you. And see, I'm just gonna be straight. I'm just gonna be point blank. You need your ass killed. Your ass need to be killed. So let's go to Wikipedia, and then we're gonna come back to the dictionary, and then we gonna also go to the other dictionary. Matter of fact, let me before I almost forget, because this is just as important, because this is what we're talking about when we use the word gang. See, the word gang is not what you know. This is what you're supposed to. Coercion, coerce, sexual coercion, psychological coercion, psychological manipulation, psychological abuse, coercion, coerce, sexual coercion, psychological coercion, psychological manipulation, and psychological abuse. Now, this here is the world map. And there's people all over the world. It's the world map. It's the world map. Now, as we've been talking about the Germans and the Latins. The Germans use that word is gang, and gang plus stir and all that boss and goon. There's no English language or Dutch language, still German. And also the Latins, the abbreviation mob, mobile, plus stir. Now, there are many people that are in Europe who were not involved and didn't participate in the East African or West African slave trade. And the Albanian speaking people, they were not involved and did not participate in the East African or West African slave trade. Now this is a map. Now, the Baltic speaking people in the European nation, East European nation of Lithuania and Latvia, the Baltic speaking people, they were not involved and they did not participate in the East African or West African slave trade. The Greek-speaking people in a European nation of Greece. The Greek-speaking people, they were not involved. They did not participate in the East African or West African slave trade. Now, the Slavic-speaking people, they were not involved. They did not participate in the East African or West African slave trade. Now, the Slavic-speaking people, they live in Russia. There's Russia, Belarus, the Ukraine, the Czech Republic, Slovakia, Poland, the former Bulgaria, and then you have many republics in the former Yugoslavia. I can't name Macedonia, Serbia, Croatia, Slovenia. I had to go online and write them out, but I just many of the former Yugoslavian republics are Slavic-speaking people. They were not involved and did not participate in the East African or West African slave trade. Now, the European nation of Turkey, also known as Anatolia, the Turkish-speaking people, also the former Ottoman Empire, the Ottoman Empire in history, the Altaic-speaking people, the Altaic language, the Turkish language falls up under the Altaic language. They were not involved. They did not participate in the East African or West African slave trade. Now, the Uralic speaking people, European nation of Hungary, the European nation of Finland, European nation of Estonia. The Uralic speaking people, there's some other Uralic speaking people. They were not involved. They did not participate in the East African or West African slave trade. The Uralic speaking people. Now, as you know, the Romance shoot. Excuse. Now, as you know, the Romance languages, Latin is considered a Romance language. The Romance language are Spanish, Portuguese, French, and the Romanian language, but those are considered your Romance languages: Spanish, Portuguese, French, and the Romanian language is Latin. And now, as you know, when we talk about Romania, the Romanian people, Latin people. And Romania is also known as Wallachia. Romania is also known as Wallachia. And then there are two other provinces, Moldova and Transylvania in Romania. Now, Romania does have a history of slavery, and people who were enslaved in Romania, the Roma people, also referred to as the Gypsies. They were enslaved in Romania by the Romanian people. But now the Romanian, let's be clear. Now the Roma people are not just. Now you know the Roma people came from India. Everybody know that, right? The Roma people came from India. They are Indian people, nomadic people from India. Now the Roma people not just in Romania. When I know you do, the Roma people in Germany, Spain, Turkey, they pretty much all over Europe. But in Romania, they were enslaved. They were slaves. Now slavery did end in Romania. Just to go ahead and move forward, slavery was abolished by the Romanian government. Now, in legal terminology, when you say abolished, you not only ended or stopped doing it, but you're saying also that it was wrong. You understand? You're saying it was wrong. You understand? You're saying it was wrong. Not only to the Roma people, but you're saying it to the Romanian people. The Romanian government is telling the people in Romania that slavery is wrong. Now, the Roma people, they assimilated back into the society, integrated into the Romanian society. Now there's a history of World War II. We know the fascist German Axis powers. They came over to Romania, and Adolf Hitler, historically one of the most evil people in the history. Not only did he kill the Romanian Jews and Christians and homosexuals, just Romanian people, period. But a lot of people who were Romanian, they were Jews, just like the German Jews and Polish Jews, and just Jews, period. The Romanian Jews, Christians, were murdered by Adolf Hitler. And also the Roma people. And when you look up the numbers of people who were killed, over 100,000 Romanian people were killed by the Germans in World War II. Now, and the Roma people were also, the Gypsy people were also killed and murdered by Adolf Hitler during World War II. And after World War, you had to liberate, they had the concentration camps and all this, and all the, the atrocities that were committed in Romania. It's just, But like I say, the Romanian people, they were not involved, but still, even though there's a history of slavery in Romania, the Romanian people were not involved, and they did not participate in the East African or West African slave trade. Now, as you know, I do have a Merriam-Webster dictionary. Merriam-Webster dictionary. I do have also a Merriam-Webster thesaurus. Merriam-Webster thesaurus. The copyright on both of those books, 2004 and 2005, on those Merriam-Webster. The dictionary is 2004, the copyright 2004, and the Merriam-Webster thesaurus, copyright 2005. Now I also have Oxford paperback dictionary and thesaurus. What's the copyright? The copyright on this one is 2001, 2007, and 2009. So that's the copyright. I also have a pocket Oxford American Dictionary and Thesaurus. Let's see, what's the copyright on this one? Now the copyright on this pocket Oxford American Dictionary with Thesaurus is 2010. 2010. Now what we're gonna do? We're gonna go to Merriam. We're gonna go to Wikipedia for a reason. As you know, Wikipedia is a quick run, but what we want to do, we want to look at the timeline on the Merriam-Webster Third New International Unabridged. We want to look, and also the Oxford English Dictionary. We want to look at the timeline. So like I said, we on with Wikipedia. We on Wikipedia, everybody. Now I'm gonna do a little reading here. Okay, it says Webster's Third New International Dictionary of the English Language Unabridged, commonly known as Webster's Third, was published in September 1961. September 1961. It was edited by Philip Babcock Gold and a team of lexicographers who spent 757 editor years and 3.5 million. It contained more than 450,000 entries, including more than 100,000 new entries and as many new senses for entries carried over from previous editions. The final definition, Zigzogictine, was written on October 17, 1960. The final etymology was recorded on October 26, and the final pronunciation was transcribed on November 9th. The final copy went to the typesetters R.R. Donnelly on December 2nd. The book was printed by the Riverside Press in Cambridge, Massachusetts. The first edition had 2,726 pages and measuring blah, 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 blah. Now, it originally sold for $47.50. The change was the most valuable in history of unbreak. Although it was unprecedented masterwork of scholarship, it was met with considerable criticism for a descriptive rather than prescriptive approach. It told how the language was used, not how it ought to be used. Now, let's scroll down. Okay, I'm going to scroll down here to where it says revisions and updates. Since the 1961 publications of the third Merriam-Webster has reprinted the main text of the dictionary with only minor corrections. To add new words, they created an addenda section in 1966, included in the front matter, which was expanded in 1971, 1976, 1981, 1986, 1993, and 2002. However, the rate of additions has been much slower than it had been throughout the previous 100 years. Following the purchase of Merriam-Webster by Encyclopedia Britannica Incorporated in 1964, a 3-volume version was issued for many years as a supplement to the encyclopedia. At the end of Volume 3, this edition included the Britannica World Language Dictionary, 474 pages of translation between English and French, German, Italian, Spanish, Swedish, and Yiddish. And I always say a CD-ROM version of the complete text with thousands of additional new words and definitions from the addenda was published by Merriam-Webster in 2000 and is often packed with the print edition. The Merriam-Webster staff have been working on the 4th edition of the unabridged since 2008, but a publication date has not yet been set. So, when it comes to the third Merriam-Webster, it was published. It was since 1961. There have been editions: 1971, 1976, 1981, 1986, 1993, and 2002. Now you know the word gang and mob is in the dictionary, and it tells you what the word means. Hold on. I had to go get my knife for that one because now hold on. Now, as you know, that's the third Merriam-Webster. Now let's go to the second. You understand? Had to go get my knife. Hold on. Now let's go. So everybody, we see people think they can play with you. You see that, right? Do everybody see that? You see that, right? Individuals, they had this opinion that they can horseplay. You see what I'm talking about? The Merriam-Webster 3rd edition was published in 1961. You see that, right? And then 1971, 1976, 1981. Because see, they would add new words. You know, if anybody want to make excuses, they would add new words. So 1971, they added some new words. 1976, 1981, 1986, 1993, 2002. You understand? You think you can horseplay with other people? You know, you think you can horseplay. You understand? You think you can horseplay. So let's go back to the second Merriam-Webster edition. Second. Now, we on Wikipedia. Quick reference. Webster's Dictionary. Okay. Is any other dictionary edited by Noah Webster in the early 19th century, and numerous unrelated dictionaries that have adopted the Webster name. Webster has become a generalized trademark in the U.S. for dictionaries of the English language widely used in English dictionary titles or even to dictionaries. The only modern dictionary that trace that lineage to Noah Webster are published by Merriam-Webster. Alright. Let's see. Okay, so let's Noah Webster American Dictionary of the English Language, the first edition 1828. Okay, second edition 1841. Well, I'm just going down. We're gonna get to the second. 1844 print of the dictionary with Webster's name. Okay, the newer revised edition 1847. See, they were making dictionaries, Merriam-Webster, they were making a dictionary. Okay, unabridged edition 1864. Webster's International Dictionary 1890-1900. Webster's New International Dictionary 1909. Webster's New International Dictionary, second edition. That's what we want to get to. Webster's New International Dictionary, second edition, 1934. The word gang is in there. The word mob, the abbreviation mob for mobile is in the Webster's New International Dictionary, second edition, 1934. 1934. Now, here in the United States of America, we know we have a history of discrimination, prejudice, racism, hatred. So when it comes to education, the Africans were denied education, and now the Germans and the Latins, they received education. Now there was a few. Now let's say this about these historic. Now let's go here. Here in the United States of America, the non-German, non-Latin population, the African, the African American, what they refer to as African American community. Now we had these schools. Some of these schools go all the way back to like the 1800s. Some of these schools go back to the 1800s. Now Harvard University is the first institution of higher learning in the United States of America, and we know it's in Cambridge, Massachusetts. And Harvard University is affiliated with Cambridge University and with Oxford University. And we know that Oxford University is the oldest university in the English-speaking language. Now, the University of Bologna is the oldest university in the world. We also know about the Guinness Book of World Records. It says that over there in Morocco, one of the oldest institutions of higher learning is over there in Fez, Morocco. And so the point we get to is this timeline about people horse playing with other people, lying. Now, Webster New International Dictionary, the second edition, 1934. That's for us as African Americans, since we were denied education during the 1800s. It was slavery, 1700s slavery. So what we were trying to establish, when was it possible for the Africans to get some kind of education? So let's say this, during this timeline, discrimination, segregation in the South. You understand? But we did have some schools, some institutions of higher learning. Historically black colleges and universities, we had some schools that have a whole lot. See, we're building a timeline. Okay, we have Webster's New International Dictionary, second edition, 1934. So World War II hadn't started yet. You understand? World War II hadn't started yet in 1930, but there was a dictionary. See, that's the point. We had a dictionary. It was a dictionary that had a word in there that's very important about our behavior and our conduct, game. And in that dictionary, it told you what the word meant in 1934. Webster's New International Dictionary, second edition, 1934. It told you what the word gang and the abbreviation mob meant. It told you what goon mean, boss mean. It told you that it gave you, told you what the word mean in 1934. And see, let me see, in 1934. Okay, let me see. Let me scroll here. Okay. So up until 1961, the Webster New International Dictionary, second edition, 1934, it was the dictionary to refer to. Now we're gonna get to Oxford English Dictionary, but we want to establish a timeline for the dictionary, and for all these African Americans who live here in the United States of America. We know many people were denied education, discriminated against. So we had, but there was a dictionary, Webster New International Dictionary, second edition, 1930. We did have some institutions of higher learning. It wasn't a whole lot, but there's some institutions of higher learning, what they refer to as historically black colleges and universities. Now, after the Webster's New International Dictionary, second edition, 1934, Webster's third New International Dictionary, 1961. 1961, okay? And then after the 1961, then you had the revisions and updates. The first one, okay, it said to add new words, they created an addenda section in 1966, included in the front matter, and it was expanded in 1971, 1976, 1981, 1986, 1993, and in 2002. Webster's third New International Dictionary, they added new words. I'm telling you, man, they added new words. So when all that blood gang, all that Crip gang, Stone, all that folk gang, my people gang, they had a Webster's third New International Dictionary. It was published in 1961. And then they had another dictionary, Webster's second, Webster's New International Dictionary, second edition, 1934. See, these are two dictionaries that we're gonna rely on for a reason. Because in the 1800s, when Webster produced his first dictionary, you was a slave. The majority, you was a slave. In the 1800s, you were not emancipated. You had to fight the Civil War. The Civil War that ends in 1860, and then after the Civil War, you had Jim Crow laws and discrimination and all this stuff all around this country, discrimination. So you had to really get to the 1900s. Be honest with you, you had to really fight World War II before you really could say that as a majority the African American community started really as a whole started getting rights. So when it comes to the dictionary, the Webster's New International Dictionary, second edition, 1934, it's a good dictionary. It was available, and we had institutions of higher learning, historically black colleges and universities. Webster's New International Dictionary, second edition, 1930. Because this is what we got to do. When you talk about those historic black colleges and universities, see, the first edition was already, it had already been printed. So those historically black colleges and universities could refer to the first edition, because the second edition wasn't printed till 1934. But those historically black colleges and universities, that first edition, it was available. How you go to how are these African Americans going to school and learning about the English language? They had Webster's first edition, 1909, Webster's International Dictionary, 1890 and 1900. Webster's International Dictionary of the English Language, 1890. Okay. Then you have Webster's New International Dictionary, 1909. See? So all these historically black colleges and universities, see, there were people, the dictionary was being, it was there. Okay. See, we're getting a timeline. We're establishing a timeline. People that want to lie. Talking about You got the right to be whatever you want. You get freedom of expression. Well, you need to know what the word means. How you gonna express yourself with an abbreviation? Talking about some mob. The word means mobile. The definition of mob and mobile is the same. There's no such thing as no mob. There's no such thing. It's an abbreviation of mobile. Now let's go over here to the Oxford English Dictionary. Alright, we on Wikipedia. We on Wikipedia. We on Wikipedia. We on Wikipedia. The Oxford English Dictionary. Alright, is a descriptive dictionary of the English language published by the Oxford University Press. It traces the historical development of the English language, providing a comprehensive resource to scholars and academic research, as well as describing use in its many variations throughout the world. The second edition came to 21,728 pages in 20 volumes, published in 1989. It was published in 1989. Now, work began on the dictionary in 1857, but it was not until 1884 that it began to be published in unbound fascicles as work continued on the project under the name of a New English Dictionary of Historical Principles, founded mainly on the materials collected by the Philological Society. In 1895, the title, the Oxford English Dictionary, was first used unofficially on the covers of the series, and in 1928, the full dictionary was republished in 10 bound volumes. In 1933, the title, the Oxford English Dictionary, fully replaced the former name of all occurrences and is reprinted as 12 volumes with a 1-volume supplement. More supplements came over the years until 1989, when the second edition was published. See, the second edition was published in 1989. Since 2000, a third edition of the dictionary has been underway, approximately a third of which is now complete. The first electronic version of the dictionary was made available in 1988. The online version has been available since 2000, and as of April 2014, was receiving over 2 million hits per month. The third edition of the dictionary will probably only appear in electronic form. Let's say Nigel Portwood, Chief Executive of Oxford University Press, thinks it's unlikely that it will ever be printed. All right, so let me scroll here. Okay, now we scroll down to where it says history. Origin. The dictionary began as a philological society project of a small group of intellectuals in London and unconnected to Oxford University. Richard Chenoweth's Trench, Herbert Coleridge, and Frederick Furnivall, who were dissatisfied with the existing English dictionaries. The society expressed interest in compiling a new dictionary as early as 1844, but it was not until June 1857 that they began by forming an unregistered words committee to search for words that were unlisted or poorly defined in current dictionaries. So there were dictionaries, In November, Trench's report was not a list of unregistered words. Instead, it was the study on some deficiencies in our English dictionaries, which identifies 7 distinct shortcomings in contemporary dictionaries. Incomplete coverage of obsolete words, inconsistent coverage of families of related words, incorrect dates for earliest use of words, history of obsolete senses of words often omitted, inadequate distinction among synonyms, insufficient use of good illustrative quotations, space wasted on inappropriate or redundant content. Okay? Let me scroll down here. Okay, let me just, okay. Completion of first edition and first supplement. The 125th and last fascicle covered words. That's why I'm at, everybody. On my way, it said completion of first edition and first supplement. The 125th and last fascicle covered words from Wise to the end of W and was published on 19 April 1928. 1928, okay. So we're establishing a timeline. Now we have all these historically black colleges and universities. So the first Oxford English Dictionary, the first edition and first supplement, 1928. Now here in America, racial discrimination. So all these African people that's living here in the United, we were denied education, but we did have some institutional higher learning, what we refer to as historically black colleges and universities. And it says here, and the full dictionary and bound volumes followed me. Okay? And let me read here. Between 1928 and 1933, enough additional material had been compiled to make a one-volume supplement. So the dictionary was reissued as a set of 12 volumes and a one-volume supplement in 1933. 1933. Now, second supplement. In 1933, Oxford had finally put the dictionary to rest. All work ended and the quotation slips went into storage. However, the English language continued to change, and by the time 20 years had passed, the dictionary was outdated. There were three possible ways to update it. The cheapest would have been to leave the existing work alone and simply compile a new supplement of perhaps 1 or 2 volumes. But then anyone looking for a word or sense and unsure of its age will have to look in 3 different places. The most convenient choice for the user would have been for the entire dictionary to be re-edited and re-typeset with each change included in its proper alphabetical place, but this would have been the most expensive option, with perhaps 15 volumes required to be produced. The Oxford University Press chose a middle approach, combining the new material with the existing supplement to form a larger replacement supplement. Robert Birchfield was hired in 1957 to edit the second supplement. Onions turned 84 that year, but was still able to make some contributions as well. The work on the supplement was expected to take about 7 years. It actually took 29 years, by which time the new supplement, Oxford English Dictionary supplements, had grown to 4 volumes. Starting with A, H, O, and C. They were published in 1972, 1976, 1982, and 1986, respectively, bringing the complete dictionary to 16 volumes, or 17 counting the first supplement. Birchfield emphasized the inclusion of modern-day language, and through the supplement, the dictionary was expanded to include a wealth of new words from the burgeoning fields of science and technology, as well as popular culture and colloquial speech. Birchfield said that he broadened the scope to include developments of the language in English-speaking regions beyond the United Kingdom, including North America, Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, India, Pakistan, and the Caribbean. Birchfield also removed some smaller entries that had been added to the 1933 supplement for reasons of space. In 2012, An analysis by lexicographer Sarah Ogilvy revealed that many of these entries were in fact foreign loan words. Despite Birchfield's attempt to include more such words, the proportion was estimated from a sample calculation to amount to 17% of the foreign loan words and words from regional forms of English. Many of these had only a single recorded usage, but it ran against what was thought to be the established Oxford English Dictionary editorial practice and the perception that he had opened up the dictionary to world English. Now, let's get to the second edition. By the time the new supplement was compiled, it was clear that the full text of the dictionary would now need to be computerized. Achieving this will require retyping it once, but thereafter will always be accessible for computer search, as well as for whatever new edition of the dictionary might be desired, starting with the integration of the supplementary volumes. And the main text preparation for this process began in 1983. An editorial work started the following year under the administrative direction of Timothy J. Benbow, with John A. Simpson and Edmund N.C. Weiner as co-editors. In 2016, Simpson published his memoir chronicling his years at the Oxford English Dictionary. See the word detective, searching for the meaning of it all at the Oxford English Dictionary memoir based in Books, New York. And so the new Oxford English Dictionary project began in the United States. More than 120 typists of the International Computer Print Corporation. Now ReadTech started keying in over 350 million characters. Their work checked by 55 proofreaders in England. Retyping the text alone was not sufficient. All the information represented by the complex topography of the original dictionary had to be retained, which was done by marking up the content in HTML. A specialized search engine display software were also needed to access it under a 1985 agreement. Some of this software work was done at the University of Waterloo, Canada, at the Center for the New Oxford English Dictionary, led by Frank Tumpe and Gaston Gunnett. Alright. Let me scroll down a little bit. Okay, let me start right here. By 1989, the new Oxford English Dictionary probably had achieved its primary goal, and the editors were working online had successfully combined the original text, Birchfield supplement, and a small amount of new material into a single unified dictionary. The word new was again dropped from the name, and the second edition of the Oxford English Dictionary, or the Oxford English Dictionary 2, was published. The first edition retronomically became the Oxford English Dictionary 1. The Oxford English Dictionary 2 was printed in 20 volumes. For the first time, there was no attempt to start them on letter boundaries, and they were made roughly equal in size. The 20 volumes started with A, B, B, C, Cham, Creel, the Van Bay, Follow, Hat, Interval, Look, Mile, Ow, was that Poise, Humadero, Roll, Sir, Soot, Sue, Through, Unemancipated, and Wave. The content of the Oxford English Dictionary 2 is mostly just a reorganization of early corpus, but the retype setting provided an opportunity for two long needed format changes. Alright. Now, let me scroll right here. It says, when the print version of the second edition was published in 1989, the response was enthusiastic. Alright. Now it talks about the edition series. The supplements and their integration into the second edition were a great improvement to the Oxford English Dictionary as a whole, but it was recognized that most of the entries were still fundamentally unaltered from the first edition. Much of the information in the dictionary published in 1989 was already decades out of date, though the supplements had made good progress towards incorporating new vocabulary. Yet many definitions contain disproven scientific theories, outdated historical information, and moral values that were no longer widely accepted. Furthermore, the supplements have failed to recognize many words in the existing volume as obsolete by the time of the second edition publication, meaning that thousands of words were marked as current despite no recent evidence of their use. Okay. Let me scroll down where it says, okay. Oxford English Dictionary Edition Series Volume 1 includes over 20,000 illustrated quotations showing the evolution of each word or meaning. That was in 1994. The Oxford English Dictionary Edition Series Volume 2, 1994. And then the Oxford English Dictionary Edition Series Volume 3. That was in 1997. Then you had your third edition, beginning with the launch of the first Oxford English Dictionary online site in 2000. It said that the editor of the dictionary began a major revision project to create a completely revised third edition of the dictionary, Oxford English Dictionary 3, expected to be completed in 2037 at a projected cost of about $34 million. Okay. Let me scroll down here. Then you had your compact editions. Now, the compact edition in 1971, the 13-volume Oxford English Dictionary 1933, was reprinted as a 2-volume compact edition by photographically reducing each page to 1/2 its linear dimension. Each compact edition page held 4 Oxford English Dictionary 1 pages in a fold-up format. The 2-volume letters were A and P. The first supplement was at the second volume's end. The compact edition included in a small slipcase jar a magnifying glass to help in read and reduce type. Many copies were inexpensively distributed through book clubs. In 1987, the second supplement was published as a 3rd volume to the compact edition. Okay, so that's what 1991 for the 20-volume Oxford English Dictionary 2. 1989, the compact edition format was resized to 1/3 of original linear dimensions, a 9-up format requiring greater magnification but allowing publication of a single volume dictionary. It was accompanied by a magnifying glass as before and a user's guide to the Oxford English Dictionary by Don Lee Berg. After these volumes were published, those book clubs offers commonly continued to sell the 2-volume 1971 compact edition. The compact Oxford English Dictionary 2nd edition 1991. Okay, and let me see. Magnifying glass 1991. Alright. Then you had your electronic versions. Oxford English Dictionary 2nd edition, okay, and then Oxford English Dictionary 2nd edition on CD-ROM, okay. So on, so on. So we have a timeline. So we have a timeline for the dictionary. We have a timeline. You know, as if you can have any access to any, you understand, to any definition. Like if I'm going to school and I want to find out what a word means, like game. There was no dictionary for me to find out what the word means. Well, if you ain't know what the word means, how you gonna come through, be in neighborhoods and on the block? How you gonna, be on the street saying the word gang? You don't know what the word means. How is that? You had to find out whether, if you don't have no dictionary, see, listen, if you don't have a dictionary, but you saying you're a folk gang, my people gang, blood gang, crip gang, you don't have no dictionary. You in the neighborhood, you in the community, you on the block, you in the street. How is it walking around talking about some red and blue and green colors and talking about a 5-point star and a 6-point star? How is it that you can be in the neighborhood, the community? How is it that you can be on the block, in the street? Basically, you're lying. Just get to it. You're lying. You're lying. Simple as that. You're lying. So, for all the little girls, for all the little boys, there's some people in your family, my family, and where's everybody else lying about the word gang, the abbreviation mob. They lying about boss. They lying about goon. They lying about thug. They lying about stone. They lying about player. They lying about Mac. They lying about hustler. They lying about all these words. They lying. They do not know what they're talking about. The adults in your family, my family, they do not know what they're talking about. So for all the little girls, little boys, don't be on social media broadcasting, getting into a fight. There's no reason for you to do that. You don't know what you're talking about. And the adults, they don't know what they're talking about either. So just go to school and then go home. You don't have to be wait to get out of school like you've been doing and broadcasting all this nonsense on social media. You don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what you're talking about. Everybody, I almost forgot. I did get one of my books. I got one of my books. I'm glad I did receive my book in the mail, and from Mr. Michael Quinn, Oxford. Quick reference: Oxford Ologies and Isms, Word Beginnings and Endings. I did receive my book. What's the copyright on this? It's the copyright 2002. Copyright 2002. Copyright 2002. Now let's go to the word stir. Let's go to stir. I'm gonna have to take my glasses off on this one. I'm gonna have to take my glasses. I don't have the medicine in my glasses for the astigmatism. So Okay, we have stir, S-T-E-R, a personal thing associated with an activity or quality. Old English, estry is for estry, E-S-T-R-E or I-S-T-R-E, etc. It says here early examples refer to a woman engaged in an occupation such as brewster, maltster, and spinster. This last, originally a woman who spins, the ending was the feminine equivalent of words ended in E-R-E. Which later became E-R, C-E-R. It has long been extended to activities undertaken by men, such as chorister or teamster. Words in which it refers to a characteristic of the person include youngster and the U.S. derived oldster, as well as hipster, a person who is hip, who follows the latest trends and fashion. Less often, the ending refers to objects, roadster being a rare example. It often has a derogatory sense: tipster, rhymester, prankster. Many of these are more common in the U.S. than Britain. Gangster, gangster, huckster, jokester, mobster, punster, and trickster. Such terms continue to be formed, again most frequently in the U.S. popster, hipster, soulster, and scamster. Master comes from Old English, M-A-E-G, in parentheses I, stir, but derives from Latin, magister, see also meister. Others that derive from Latin words with the same ending include minister and barrister, formed from bar, an imitation of minister, as do nouns ended in aster, such as poetaster, and words such as boaster, jester, broadcaster, and protester. The suffix is er, cer, on a stem ended in st. See also stress. So for everybody, that's the ster, the suffix. So again, now let's see. Now this is the 1986. That reason why I was showing, because there's a lot of little girls and little boys. You know what I'm saying? A lot of little girls and little boys. And this is the copyright 1986. Merriam-Webster. Now let's go to the word gang. Okay, everybody. Gang. Okay. Gang number one. Middle English. It's a noun. This a noun. From Old English, akin to Old High German. Gang, act of going. Old Norse, ganger. Act of going. Got. Gang, street. Number one, the act, manner, or means of going. Passage, course, journey, also gate. A dialect chiefly British. Number one, passage, way, road, lane. A pasturage for cattle. B, chiefly Scottish. Journey. Especially one undertaken to perform an errand. C, chiefly Scottish. The amount as wood, water, or peat. They can be carried at one time or in one trip, okay? A set or full complement of articles, outfit, a gang of oars. That's an invention. A combination of similar implements or other items arranged so as to add together to save time or labor. A gang of saws. That's an invention. Or to produce in one operation or as one unit. A gang of printing plates printing several jobs on a single sheet. B, a number of individuals making up a group as one. A group of persons working under the same direction or at the same task. Migrants. Laboring in gangs in the woods, mines, and fields. American Guide series watching gangs of expert bottomers. Number two, a company of criminals. A gang of desperate banditti. Squared on the other members of the gang. 3, an elementary and close-knit social group of spontaneous origin, especially such a unit composed of antisocial adolescents. Teenage gangs. Number 4, a group of persons acting their core who are believed to engage in improper acts or to be influenced by self-seeking, corrupt, or unworthy motives, made captive by the gangs with seized power. Denounce the musical gangs being in power. A political gang dragged out the racial issue to divert attention from itself. Number 5, a group of congenial persons having closer informal social relations. A group of persons drawn together by a community of taste, interest, or activity. One of a gang that call one another great. Invite the gang plus some pretty girls. Where the gang's going tonight? The gang in the office. Number 6, a flock or herd of animals. A gang of little chickens. A gang of elks. Now, this is gang number 2, a bird. Number 1, to attack a person as a gang. Young hoodlums always gang you. Trying to gang him and take it away from him. Number 2, to assemble or operate mechanical or electronic parts simultaneously as a group. Circuits gang together by gears. And it's an invention. To arrange and or produce as a gang as type pages, group or gang, keep company, go, travel, empty-headed, idle-handed, widows who gang together with those kids on the next block, often used with up. The boys would gang up around the corner drugstore. Alright, gang. Middle English, ganging, to go, walk. From Old English, gang, akin to Old High German. Gang, to go, Old Norse. Gang, to go, Old English. Gang, act of going. Scottish, go. Number 4, gang, bar, or gang you. Alright, now let's go down here to gangster. Alright, now as you know it says gang, then there's a dot, a syllable break, then stir. Okay, gangster is a noun. Gang plus stir. A member of a gang of criminals, gunmen, thug, also a person who uses violence, intimidation, or other extra legal means of coercion for business ends, racketeer. A gang is some kind of syndicate that controls stores and nightclubs. Name one gangster as the real boss of the city. Like I say, as in the dictionary, it's gang plus stir. That's the way it's written in the dictionary. Gang plus stir. Now let's go to mob. Okay. Mob. Now you know you have to look at the pronunciation. Mob is origin unknown, undressed, disable, woman's cap. Okay. Number 2. Now that was mob. That was a noun. Then you have mob as a verb. Mob, mobbing. Verb, back formation. To muffle the head of, as in a hood. Number 2, arcade, to dress oneself negligently, to go to an unfashionable place disguised or so dressed as to avoid recognition. Number 3, mob, often as a short, often attributed short for mobile. Okay. Number 1, the lower classes of a community, the populace or the lower part of it masses, the use of superstition for the purpose of policing the mob, political spellbinding to appeal to the mob mind, a large and disorderly collection of people tending to acts of violence, windows smashed and police beaten by the angry mob, a fear of mob rule, people in a large disorderly group used without an article. The lane was full of mobs and the house so full we could not get in. Chiefly also a flock, drove, or herd of animals. Number 4, a criminal set or organization as of pickpockets or gangsters. Gang, B, clique, set, synonym, C, crowd. Then you have mob as a verb, mobbing. Number 1, to crowd about an attack or annoy. Mob by autograph hunters before he could enter the theater. Attack in a mob. A crowd tried to mob him and he ran for safety into the superintendent's office. B, to crowd into or around. To rail at, scold, abuse. 3, to hunt as a fox in such a way as to allow the quarry no chance to escape. To form a disorderly mob, crowd or riot. Okay. Then you have mob as an abbreviation. Mobile, mobilization, mobilize. That's what it means. It's an abbreviation. Mob, abbreviated money order, business. Mobber, mobbish, mobism. Then you have mobile. Now where mob straight? Okay, then you have mobster. You have mob, then you have a syllable break, then you have stir. Mob plus stir. A member of a criminal gang. So that's what it means. Just as a reminder. And also, when we talk about the Merriam-Webster Unabridged Dictionary, there's a subscription. There's a subscription. You can get a monthly subscription for $4. You can get a monthly subscription to the Merriam-Webster Unabridged Dictionary for $4. You can get an annual subscription to the Merriam-Webster Unabridged Dictionary for like $29.95 for the whole year. For the whole year, you can get a subscription. You can get a 1-year subscription for about $30. That's true. That's true. And now the Oxford English Dictionary, if I'm not mistaken, it's $30 for 1 month. The Oxford English Dictionary is $30 for 1 month. For 1 month. Matter of fact, let me see. Now, the Oxford English Dictionary, you can get a monthly, like I say, monthly, $29.95 for 1 month. Oxford English Dictionary, and then annual rate $295. $295 for the Oxford English Dictionary. So, I mean, a monthly subscription, $30. If you can't afford the annual fee, $30 for 1 month. But, for the end of today's video, we're going to go to God's Word. All these man-made religious organizations. Romans chapter 16, verse 16. Salute one another with a holy kiss. The church is S-E, suffix E-S on the end of Christ. Salute you. Okay. 2 Thessalonians chapter 1 verse number 4. So that we ourselves glory. 2 Thessalonians chapter 1 verse number. So that we ourselves glory in you in the church with the suffix es on the end of God for your patience and faith in all your persecution and tribulation that ye endure. Now, as you know, there are 3 places in the Bible where they tell you this lie called Christian. It's a lie. The first place is Acts chapter 11. Acts chapter 11, verse 26. That's the first place. The second place is Acts chapter 26, verse 28. Now the third place is 1 Peter chapter 4. First Peter chapter 4 verse 16. Now you know the Apostle Peter was not telling you to be a Christian. He was talking about these people that's walking around lying. Walking around lying like the Apostle Paul. The self-proclaimed Apostle Paul, Saul from Tarsus. The self-proclaimed Apostle Paul lying. And also 2 Peter chapter 3 verses 15 through 18. Now let's go to and also when we read the Bible, you know, people can follow along. You can go to BibleStudyTools.com and you can also go to BibleGateway.com. Now, you know Saul lied, right? About his conversion. I'm just going to read verse number 1. And Saul, yet breathing out threatenings and slaughter against the disciples of the Lord, went unto the high priest and desired of him letters to Damascus, to the synagogues, that if he found any of this way, whether they were men or women, he might bring them bound unto Jerusalem. And as he journeyed, he came near Damascus, and suddenly there shined round about him a light from heaven. And he fell to the earth, and heard a voice saying unto him, Saul, Saul, why persecutest thou me? And he said, Who art thou, Lord? And the Lord said, I am Jesus, whom thou persecutest. It is hard for thee to kick against the pricks. And he, trembling and astonished, said, Lord, what wilt thou have me to do? And the Lord said unto him, Arise and go into the city, and it shall be told thee what thou must do. Verse number 7. We are in Acts chapter 9. Verse number 7, everybody. Verse number 7, everybody. And the men which journeyed with him stood speechless, hearing a voice, but seeing no man. And Saul rose from the earth, and when his eyes were opened, he saw no man. But they led him by the hand and brought him into Damascus. I'm going to stop right there. Now let's turn to Acts chapter 22. Acts chapter 22 Let's go to verse number 9. Let's go right to the verse number 9. And they that were with me saw indeed the light, and were afraid, but they heard not the voice of him that spake to me. He lied. Let's go to Acts chapter 26. We're going to go straight to it, verses 13 and 14. At midday, O king, I saw in the way light from heaven, above the brightness of the sun, shining round about me and them which journeyed with me. And when we were all fallen to the earth, I heard a voice speaking unto me, and saying in the Hebrew tongue, Saul, Saul, why persecutest thou me? It is hard for thee to kick against the pricks. And I said, Who art thou, Lord? And he said, I am Jesus whom thou persecutest. So verses 13, 14, like I said, verses 13, 14. In verse 14 it says, and when we were all fallen to the earth, I heard a voice speaking unto me, and saying in the Hebrew tongue, Saul, Saul, why persecute thou me? It's hard for thee to kick against the pricks. He lied. So, he lied. Saul lied. Saul from Tarsus, self-proclaimed Apostle Paul, lied. So we're going to continue to read the book of Acts. I know I didn't spend as much time as I wanted to, because we were spending more time on the Merriam-Webster and the Oxford English Dictionary, and but we're gonna continue to get as much Bible in as we can, and we're gonna continue to stay with the Bible, because that's what's needed. Need God's word, and now, as I said earlier, there's some people walking around, going around in the community, talking about this East Coast. You know, the East Coast, what we refer to here in the United States of America. The East Coast, like the 13 colonies from Florida all the way up. And these African Americans, as well as the Germans and the Latins, they give you the impression that they got some kind of information that makes them over everybody else that's not on the East Coast. You understand? So and then you have these people that's walking around talking about they in Chicago, Illinois, talking about some folk gang, my people gang. Then out there in Los Angeles, California, talking about some blood gang and Crip gang, talking about some B-Dog and Cubs and all that. Well, going around the line and horse playing, with other people. Gonna get you brutalized on these streets. See, you provoke, you know, what it is a provocation. You're provoking myself as well as others. That's what it's a provocation. See? And you know, when people get provoked, you know, they respond. You know. And their response, you know, you get brutalized. You get brutalized. For example, you get brutalized, meaning you get sodomized with a bowie knife. If I get my hands on you. Now, some people, you know, you end up getting shot out on the street, in the neighborhood, on the block. But get my hands on that bowie knife, you're gonna get sodomized. Them automatic rifles with them bullets, you know. You want to provoke people, well, you know, like a lot of these females, you want to provoke somebody, well, you got automatic rifles with bullets, and talking about some East Coast and all that. Next thing you know, it'll be people using hand grenades, you know, because you keep playing with other people. Next thing you know, you start hearing people using hand grenades, and out there in California, same thing. You keep the horse playing with other people. Next thing you know, you start hearing about hand grenades being used because people being provoked. But I'm gonna get ready to end today's video. Again, my name is Eric D. Johnson, also known as BrightShine. I live right here in the city of Memphis, in the county sheriff, in the state of Tennessee. And I thank all my fans, my support, for your continued encouragement and support. And as always, put God first. Put God first. For all His blessings, give God thanks for all the blessings and guidance that He provides you with. And till next time, take care of yourself with each and every one of your very best.